Okay, next one is Karma from Equal Frequencies, who are a band from Huddersfield in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
The album is 11 tracks and, again, close to an hour, 52 minutes roughly. And I'm just going to read their submission email again because it kind of just explains who they are and what they're about. So, hi, I'm one half of Equal Frequencies. I produce the music and work on all the social media. The other half is my husband Rob, who writes the lyrics and drums on the tracks. I hope you will take a look at our latest album, Karma, and the tracks I've provided. We would love to share our music on your podcast. We are totally independent and have self-released our music for 2 years on the Armora Recordings label, which we created. We offer our own views on the current situation and occasionally ask awkward questions, but we are all about positivity and sharing our art. You can find us on Twitter at Equal Frequencies, Equal Freaks, I guess, FREQS, where we're the most active. We also have a website, equalfrequencies.net. We have released 2 other albums, My Dreams Are Your Dreams and No Divide, as well as 2 singles, Sanctuary and COVID Christmas, a slightly tongue-in-cheek view of the situation in the UK over Christmas. Thanks for your consideration, and we hope we can speak soon. Equal Frequencies, Rob and Rowena Chadwick Smith. So this one, I suppose, is pretty different from all the other things we've talked about so far.
This is probably the most palatable out of everything we've covered so far.
Yeah.
Bar the singles, this is probably the most palatable album, I would say.
Yes. So this is like an album of like chilled out ambient pop songs, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I visited their website and what was it? Their website or their social media page, maybe Facebook page, where they described themselves as an electronic dance music crossover. Yeah, the songs definitely have that sort of kind of feel to them, albeit with a kind of bit more stripped back and relaxed kind of vibe. There's no outright kind of dance bangers on this. You know, it's not PNAU or anything like that. It's not Daft Punk.
No, but most of these songs have got like a danceable like drum beat in the background.
Oh, aye.
That usually, drives everything along. Although the rest of the instrumentation is usually reasonably chilled or laid back, but there's always this kind of drum beat that either lasts for the whole song or comes in at certain moments. I suppose as well to start with the opening track and title track, Karma. It's like we said, this has a kind of fantastic stomping drum beat that combines with these kind of shimmering, twinkling chimes. The vocals are slightly modulated or auto-tuned, as they are throughout the album. And initially I wasn't too sure about that first. There's a little bit of an Adam Levine-esque tinge to it.
You know how you feel about Adam Levine?
Yeah, we all know. But actually I think the vocals fit the vibe really well. And
yeah,
I like a lot of the lyrics as well.
Well, this album has one of my favourite, it's obviously in one of the lyrics, it has one of my favourite sayings of all time. Let's slip the dogs of war. I love that. It's from Julius Caesar, the Shakespearean play. And I just love to use it totally ironically. I think the full saying, the full line is cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war. I can't remember which track it's on. It's further on the album anyway.
I mean, there aren't that many opportunities to use that quote, really, are there? In daily life?
It's quite funny to use just to be overly dramatic and theatrical. Going into a team meeting, for example.
It's like, sort of morning team talk, and you like end your talk with that. So let's all have a good day, cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war.
Yeah. You know what the boss Jim always says? Sorry, we're totally off topic.
Yeah. So where was it? So Karma, the first track, really good. Like I said, I wasn't that keen on the vocals at first, but I got used to them and ended up actually really liking them. So I think, it's a great opening track, and it's got a really danceable drum beat throughout. And then you've got Is This How You Want It To Be? And that's got this like really melodic opening with guitar, bass and drums. And it's got this, like the guitar hook throughout that, and it just sort of repeats throughout the whole song. and it's just so good. And I really like the lyrics in this song as well, which is about lockdown and whether the people in charge really have our interests in mind and that kind of thing. It's just quite thoughtful and insightful.
I think, sorry to interrupt there, Snidge, but I kind of felt as if it kind of epitomised what everybody was thinking, or maybe is still thinking, particularly with, lyrics like contradictions by the score, nothing makes sense anymore. I mean, that's something that I say on a daily basis, working within the NHS, for example. There's so many contradictions, we don't know which way's up or down anymore, because it's changing constantly.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you said in the description about the album and the email that they sent, they do touch on current topics, and they kind of posit that they ask some kind of controversial questions at times within their music. But I think it's worth saying that they're not overly forceful with it. It doesn't feel dogmatic. It's by no means, it's not preachy, I suppose, is the point that I'm trying to get at.
They're not forcing any opinions down your throat.
They're absolutely not, no.
That can always be off-putting when you're kind of having an opinion forced upon you, but they certainly don't do that. It's just kind of food for thought, really, isn't it?
Yeah, aye, absolutely.
I don't think the whole album is not, like, every track isn't as strong as some of the other tracks in the album. I think the first couple of tracks there are great. I think Afterlife, the fourth track, is really great as well, which for some reason, it's got this kind of really epic kind of instrumental that opens it. It's like a synthesized orchestra. It's really nostalgic for me because it reminds me of the theme music for Unreal Tournament on the PC, like the original Unreal Tournament from like the year 2000. It's just something about it that reminds me of that theme tune. So yeah, I really like that track. It's got a really good drum beat that kicks in, which changes the mood slightly, and it's got a really, really great vocal melody as well. And again, the lyrics are strong. I like the sentiment of the lyrics. So it goes, then speak not of death, no, not my last breath. It just means the passing of a day, where dreams will dream as if they were a play. So I strut and fret no more. Death is just an open door. I think, there's a lot of great lines like that.
Yeah.
Just really clever lyrics. And yeah, there's a few songs that I think are really great, and then there are a few songs that aren't quite as strong, but overall I think it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really kind of bright, breezy, kind of shiny album to listen to. I think they were able to create some really interesting, kind of delicate melodies at times, particularly on Lost, for example. Yeah. That was a standout track for me. That was track number 6. That's the one that has my favourite line in it.
Nice.
It's really quite laid back and quite soothing. And I imagine being a sax man like yourself, man, the sax squatch. You are the sax squatch.
The saxophone's a weird instrument because I used to hate it, because it always reminded me of like pop love songs. But in more recent years, I've been exposed to another side of that instrument where it's just this kind of psychotic beast of an instrument. But it's a little poppier in this, but it's still really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. Like Lost and what's the other one?
Lost Kids of Today. There's a bit of it in there as well.
Yeah, Lost Kids of the Day is the best bit of saxophone, I would say.
Yeah, there was times where it kind of reminded me a bit of the Lasso Trimagi album that we covered last time.
Yeah, there's definitely moments to that. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
This feels a bit more like 90s, like back in the 90s when like dance music was like mainstream pop, like that was the sort of stuff you had on the radio, like Moby and Fatboy Slim and that kind of stuff. Like It feels certainly like something like In the Spirit. It sounds like it's got this sort of synth to it you could be straight out of a Moby track, and it's got a kind of almost clubland sounding sort of drum and bass to it as well. So that it's got there is a sort of 90s vibe to quite a lot of it as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get your point about Trimagi. I don't think this is as. I didn't find this quite as exciting as Trimagi, but this is different. It is very different.
It's very different.
There are similarities, but they are still very different. What are your favourite tracks?
Lost Kids of Today. I really quite enjoyed the penultimate track as well, Fate. At times, with regards to, for example, the second track in Lost Kids of Today, the lyrical content, at times, they're touching on some pretty difficult concepts, like the COVID, unemployment, lack of opportunities, particularly in kind of Lost Kids of Today. However, I felt that like Fate, with it being the kind of penultimate track, just it's not the last track, it's the second last track, but I felt as if it was nice. You know what I mean? I found it quite an uplifting song, quite life affirming at times. Yeah, those were my standout tracks. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I think the closing track, Land of My Dreams, is one of my favourites. I just like, there's a good thump to the bass. There's a nice like moody kind of sparse piano. There's a good drum stomp. It's got, electronics and synths on it, and they all just kind of combine really well together. And then the vocals are really lush. And the lyrics are just nice, like Land of My Dreams, so real to me, let them forever be. Hear the music in the trees, created by a gentle breeze. It's just they're just nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's just a nice, soothing song to listen to.
What did you rate it?
So, like I said, I think there's, how many tracks are on this album again? 11. So I think there's 4 or 5 like really strong tracks, and then a few that aren't quite as good. But overall, I really like it. So I've gone for a 7 for this one.
That's exactly what I've put as well. I think it's fair to say that there's a dip in quality here and there. I mean, I think you're right to say that the album as a whole, starts off really strong with the first 2 tracks. Third song, is it Dystopia? I kind of felt as if, I don't know, it felt like a soundtrack to something. It felt like almost like, I don't know why, I've got the Pirates of the Caribbean in my mind. I don't know why, because it obviously doesn't, but yeah, it kind of felt, I don't want to use the word gimmicky. I don't know what it was. It wasn't one of the better tracks for me.
Yeah, I think that was a slight dip after those first 2 tracks, because they are really strong, and I think it comes back well with Afterlife, and then there are those sort of dips here and there, but yeah, I think it's still a good album.
Definitely.
I haven't listened to their other albums, but I did listen to COVID Christmas, and so that's going to go into the festive cheer Christmas playlist that we do, because it's basically about, lockdown Christmas and sort of all the rules we have to follow to make Christmas successful. And some of the lyrics are, I think this is early on the song, is, what if Christmas goes ahead? Will most of us end up dead? And then it lists reasons that if we follow, lists the rules we have to follow to stop that from happening, one of which is kissing under mistletoe has to go away, and no love, no hugs. So, yeah, it's that's the kind of Christmas song that I like. sort of miserable Christmas songs.
A doer Christmas song.
I just get fed up of hearing the same Christmas songs every year, and I like to.
Like what, the same 10 Christmas songs since like...
in every supermarket, every coffee shop, I just like, I like things that kind of turn Christmas on its head a bit. So that one's going straight in there, and so that'll be in there. Be listening to that at Christmas time. Cool, okay, so that was Karma by Equal Frequencies. Right.
You have had your way. No answers yet. They are making trillions you can bear. Then speak not of death. No, not my last breath. It just means the passing of a day. Paradise is so lost. Humanity cannot be found. It's not finished.